And please, 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 if you genuinely liked it and you want us to keep going, leave a review and a good review on all our podcasts because then more people find it. It gives us the dopamine to keep going. Like it will just do all the good things for us. So please help us out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Girls at ADHD.
Hello.
Hi, in case you've forgotten, I'm Anushka.
And I'm Sayaka.
And we have ADHD. We're also practitioners.
Yeah.
And this podcast is hopefully your one-stop shop about all things to do with ADHD. It's a bit unhinged.
But we made it to season 2. So this is season 2 for those who are just tuning in.
And today, it's actually our last episode of season 2, which is
crazy.
Kind of wild that we kept this up. That is the most wild thing about this.
The most consistent we've been with anything in our lives ever.
Yeah, like actually, it's kind of wild. But I love it. And today we're wrapping up with something a bit more positive because I was actually editing all the episodes and they were kind of heavy topics. Like we kind of just deep dove into just all the heavy stuff. So today, hopefully, we're keeping it a bit more light and ending the season on a positive note. And we're going to talk about celebration.
Yay! Insert celebrate good times here.
Pew pew.
So we all know how hard ADHD can be. We've talked about overwhelm, executive dysfunction, time blindness, and emotional regulation. But today we want to spotlight something else. The moments where you triumphed, even when no one saw it but you.
Yeah, because ADHDers were amazing at striving. We're amazing at helping others and kind of making things work under pressure. They were really good under pressure, but what we're really bad is taking a moment to say, you know what? I did that. And that was good. And that was enough. And I don't need to do more. And I'm enough. That's what we're really bad at.
It's so true, though. And I think we'd have this tendency to downplay our achievements. And I mean, even our small wins. I think for ADHDers, we'll be working towards something. And when it's done, it feels more like relief than an accomplishment or an achievement. And so, I guess this reminder is supposed to be a bit of a reminder that our success isn't just about promotions or awards. It's also brushing your teeth after a hard day. It's asking for help. It's trying again. And yes, it deserves to be celebrated.
Every small thing. I don't think you realize how much effort it takes to just show up and do basic bare minimum things.
Existing is hard.
Existing is hard. So the fact that you're here every day and you're trying, win. That is an absolute win. So let's talk about why it's so tough for ADHDers to celebrate themselves. I guess in terms of neuroscience-y parts, our brain is wired differently. So our ADHD brains have lower levels or baseline levels of dopamine, which is basically the brain chemical or the neurotransmitter that is responsible for all the things you need to do life, like motivation, pleasure, and reward.
Exactly. And that means that where neurotypical brain might get a nice reward signal from completing a task or achieving something small, or just achieving anything really, our brains often go, meh. And
is indeed
that's correct. Which means that we actually need novelty, urgency, or emotional interest to feel that same buzz.
Yeah, it's kind of wild when you say that out loud. We need effort to feel happy about the things we do, pretty much. Which means that unless a win feels super duper emotionally exciting or urgent, something really, really big, we may not feel anything at all unless it's that, which is kind of sad, but that makes celebrating harder because we don't get that natural feedback loop of I did the thing and I feel good about it.
And that's not all. Many of us carry what Dr. William Dodson calls the wall of awful. So years of criticism, unmet expectations, being misunderstood, they build up a wall of shame and avoidance around trying new things, let alone celebrating them.
Yeah. And even if we do achieve something, we all have that inner critic that goes you know what? It wasn't that hard. You should have done that weeks ago. That took so little time. Or, other people do more. What are you doing? That's all you did. Yeah.
Hard relate.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, we can be really uncomfortable with receiving praise, like especially if we have rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Sometimes a
Yeah.
compliment can feel like pressure or even disbelief.
Oh my God, yeah. I remember when we put together like the Queer Desi Dynasty event, and you would be going around telling everyone I did such a good job, and I would be like, this is
You're like, no, I feel uncomfortable inside my boat.
uncomfortable. Can you not do that? And even when you like, guys, let me tell you, Anushka wins
Yeah.
awards like it's nobody's business. Like people just be nominating her. We don't know who's nominating her, but she's been winning these awards.
It's just
And
another thing.
she's just like, I'm gonna go to this place because I won an award. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, should we not talk about this? Should we not like celebrate this? And you're like, yeah.
I'm so awkward about it. I never know how to approach the subject. I'm like, oh no, is this like weird? Is this becoming preachy? Like, but it's just like a thing. Like there was an outcome to the things that we were
Yeah,
doing.
good
Like, I
things
don't
that
know.
you did, like
What?
achievement, there, hence award. Anyway, what were we talking about? Right. So then there's like executive dysfunction, right? So celebration actually takes effort. And by that, I mean, if you want to celebrate yourself, you have to plan the reward. You
Mm-hmm.
have like, even if it's like going out for dinner, you gotta go out for dinner, you gotta call your people, you gotta, you know, face that possibility that they won't show up. That is also kind of like an emotional thing that I think about. And then, even pausing to reflect. All those things, they take executive function, which, ADHD people don't have. And sometimes we're just like, it's just easier to move on to the next problem.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I guess if you've ever like skipped over a win, if you've ever achieved something and barely noticed, you're not alone. You're not broken. You're a person with a brain that needs different cues. And today we want to help you create those cues. And this is coming from two people who do struggle with this themselves as well. And we're I think we're sort of getting better at it in some ways.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we?
Like we don't do it alone as much, but I think we're getting better at pausing and going, hey, and like, trying to actively
Yes,
carve out time to be like, let's
that's true.
reflect,
We do take a moment to
Yeah,
awkwardly go like, hey, we did this.
we did this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like sometimes it's just a text message to each other, which is pretty
Yeah.
great.
Or sometimes it just, honestly, sometimes I think it also just takes us time to process what happened. And then after we process it, like
Oh
months
yeah.
later, we're like, oh my God, yeah, we did that.
You know what makes you process it the best? When someone else doubts you. Like, I am humble until the moment someone's like, but can you do this? And I'm like, no, screw you. Of
Yes,
course I can.
of
Have you
course.
not see Exhibit A? And then I'm like, wait.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest motivator for my success is proving all the haters wrong. Going like, actually, I'm smart and capable. I've done this before. I can do it again.
Absolutely. That like there's nothing more like that's novel, right? And it's exciting dopamine rush. It's all coming together. The science is there.
The science is there. So now that we know it's hard to celebrate wins, how do we do that? So I guess the first thing that I would say is redefine what a win even looks like. Like a lot of mainstream definitions of success don't fit like the ADHD title. For example, you know, they tend to provide productivity, consistency, and external validation. And those aren't things we always have access to just in general. So, yeah, redefining what that win looks like. So, what would that look like, I guess,
I
is
would
the
say
question.
for us, success might look like not spiraling after a mistake, replying to
Yes.
an email we've dreaded, letting
Yes.
ourselves nap without guilt, rescheduling a catch up when we know we need rest, following our interest and getting lost in the creative flow, making that phone call to Medicare or Centrelink, going to your doctor's appointment and not missing it. Like that is what success looks like for us. And you're absolutely right. You know, I think success doesn't necessarily look like prioritizing productivity, consistency, or external validation for us. I think it's
Mm.
actually in the smaller things, and that our consistency is not less consistent, it's just that it's differently consistent. It's not a straight line. For example, like, it's like when we pick up a hobby, like we're consistent for like a month. I mean, I used to paint every Sunday for a year and then
Mm-mm.
I stopped painting,
Mm,
That's still consistency. I just don't
mm.
do it anymore. Now I do other things, you know?
Consistency. I just don't do it anymore. That's
As often. Now it's like
yoga
every
teacher.
couple of months, and I would love to do it every month. It's just, I just think consistency looks different for us, you know? It's not always doing the same thing at the same time every
Yeah.
day. I will exercise every day. It's just not at 7 a.m. every morning. You
Yes.
know, I
Yes.
will it like, and it's fine. I think it's just coming to terms with that your consistency might not always feel like it's consistent, but you know, going to something 1 day a week is still better than going no days a week, and
Yeah.
picking something up after a long time is still consistent. Like your success and like your productivity is not defined by other people's measures of that thing, if that makes sense. Like you can still, I
Yeah.
think, in my humble opinion, I think ADHD is more productive than the average neurotypical person on a weekly basis. And if you had to look at
Mm-mm.
all of the things that we get done in a month, I think we do more than other people
Yeah.
because we overcompensate and we lose track
Yes.
of time and we lose track of what we have done. So, like, I think we are very productive people. It just
Yeah.
doesn't look like productivity in the general sense that we're like taught, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think like before where I said redefine what success looks
Mm.
like, but then I went on to say normal people prioritize. Normal people, neurotypical people tend to prioritize productivity, consistency, and validation. Like, okay, so maybe we do prioritize it, but they're defined differently,
Yeah,
is
they look different
what you
for
said.
us.
Yeah.
I think they look different for us. But I think you're absolutely right. They do prior like but it's also capitalism, right? And that's like a whole other conversation. But I just don't think this world is designed for
Mm,
people who are neurotypical, who are neurodivergent. And like there's a lot of pressure on us as a result of that, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I just think that like I don't know, if you're working a 5 day work week, there's a high likelihood that you're capable of getting your work done in like the last 2 days of the week. It's not that it's you're being consistent every day. It just means that you can smash stuff out on one day.
Mm-mm.
That's still being productive. It's
That's
still
still being
consistent for
productive.
that day. It's
Yeah.
not consistent in like, do 5 minutes of work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. And I think even making new measures of success, like for me, I
Yeah.
know that one of my wins, I guess, as I learn more about my brain and like honor it and whatnot, it's more, am I actually doing things to be more authentic?
Yeah.
That is one thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
am I not feeling bad when I can't do things in a neurotypical way? Like that has been a really big win for me. Like even the consistency thing you mentioned, I'm not consistent. Like I wanted to, we talked about this in the goals. I wanted to be consistent going to the gym and doing music stuff. And I haven't been consistent every week, but the fact that I come back to it quicker than I
Yeah.
used to before, that
That's still good. That's
that's a
amazing.
win. That's a
Yeah.
win. Hmm.
No, yeah, I think one of my wins this year has actually been, and this is so hard for me, and you know this better than anyone else, is that that's enough for today. Genuinely, it's been a massive shift from my usual all or nothing mindset. Usually I'll sit there and be like, I need to get through 110 million things. And now I'm like, what's my energy level like? Like this morning, I had a last minute cancellation for my client and I was going to do work. And then I was like, nope, I've got other things that I need to do today in
Yes.
terms of work and life. What does my energy look like? Because I'm currently like on my period and I'm sick. And I was like,
Yes.
I am going to watch Ginny and Georgia for 2 hours and then I'll
Yay.
see. So being able to go, this is enough for today and it's fine, and not like criticizing myself for sitting down and like taking breaks.
That's a
That's
big one.
a huge, yeah. Because I normally run myself into the ground. Otherwise, I'm like burnout central. Let's go.
Yes. I see you in two modes, burnout or, oh my God, I'm in burnout. I need to get out of this.
If I can be not burnt out by the end of this year, like if by December I'm not burnt out, we'll have finally won. Like I
Yeah.
think, yeah. I think if that's where it usually happens, we start seeing me drop a little bit. If I can like be super groovy by then, we know that
We
something's
did
worked.
it.
And then we'll update you guys in season 3 on how to avoid burnout.
What we want you to take out of this is just ask yourself, like, what are the actual wins that you overlook because they don't look like other people's wins? And what have you done that your past self would have been proud of?
Yeah. And if you're stuck
Mm.
with that, you can try this. Think of yourself when you were 8 years old. So think of your 8-year-old self. What would they cheer for today? Sometimes our inner child knows exactly what matters. And I think that has actually been something that I've tried with myself and some of my clients as well. Whenever I get stuck, I think about me at any particular age and I'm like, nah, she'd be like super proud of like where I am right now, you
Yeah.
know? Because like when you're 8, you don't have a whole lot of dreams in the world and you just think it's pretty cool that you're like living with housemates or living by yourself
Mm.
or you have a job or you have money and you can go
Yeah.
out and buy.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's like us last week when we were at Vivid, right? The
Yeah.
fact that we could pay $7 and like get on a carousel. 8-year-old me would have
Yeah.
loved that shit.
Yeah. And it was great.
It was so much fun. I guess what we're trying to say is, yeah, if we like come back down to like the celebration aspect of this, when we're
Mm-mm.
celebrating ourselves with ADHD in mind,
Yeah.
celebration doesn't need to be Pinterest worthy. It can be
Yeah.
small, it can be simple, even silly, and what matters is that you feel it.
Yeah. Like it doesn't have, it's not for anybody else. The point of celebration is for you. So whatever feels celebratory or celebratory for you, um, that is what you should be doing. So I guess maybe some ideas for you
Yeah,
to
what are some
workshop or
ADHD
brainstorm.
friendly ways to celebrate?
Yes. I want to start with micro celebrations, the
Hmm.
ones that, we don't actually see a celebration because it's just like a random moment in the day. But
Yeah.
when you just something good just really happens and you just do like a little, like when you eat good food and you do a little happy dance, those are micro celebrations. Or when, something happens and you're just like, yes, I did that. Or, you're texting a friend. Like I sometimes randomly just text you or some other friends go like, oh my God, this is what I did. And I don't expect a
Absolutely.
response, nothing. I'm just like, it's
No.
out in the world.
It's like small things. It's like I got my to-do list done today, or it's like I went to my like, doctor's appointment
Yeah.
today, or I made it to this thing. And you're like, yay. And it's like, that's enough. It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Win.
win.
Yeah.
I think you could create a win wall as well, sticky notes on your mirror or a ta-da list of things that you've done. A folder of kind messages or proud moments. I always screenshot when people say nice things about me and I would chuck them in like a little
Oh
folder in case I have RSD, like,
my
or
God.
like I just think it's cute or like funny or stupid things and I like going back and looking at them.
Oh my God, yes. I have like a little folder as well of all the little tiny cards I received throughout my life. But then
Oh,
also when like on birthdays or when someone just randomly sends me a good message, I write it down in my journal and just I'm like, yes, I am taking this in. I am receiving all the good stuff. So that's been helpful. So now I have a journal and like a folder full of all these cool stuff, which is
that's so
nice.
cute. I love that.
Yeah, I guess other themes. So dopamine rewards, maybe. So, celebrate, play your favorite song, make like a wins playlist if that's kind of your vibe. Um, take time, light your favorite candle, go buy a candle, go buy flowers for yourself. I don't know. Watch like a funny movie or a funny video. Just just things that bring you joy and happiness. And it doesn't have to be like perfect. Just any small thing that makes you happy, do that intentionally for
Yeah,
yourself.
you can also like have rituals, right? So
Mhm.
I have a friend, and I mean, I do this as well. For me and my best friend, our favorite tea is a French Earl Grey. But French Earl Grey, I don't know, in my head, it feels super fancy and a bit expensive. So, like, we both have like French Earl Grey in our respective homes. And when something good happens,
Yeah.
we pull out the French Earl Grey to like feel
Oh,
fancy. And I take out my
that's
like
cute.
nice little T2 cup. And then I'm like, oh, I like did a cute, fun thing today. And that's like my
Oh,
celebratory tea time.
cute. Very cute.
Or I'll go out of my way to make chai, which is like great too. I light incense around my house. I have these like little smudge bombs, so like I'll cleanse the house and like I don't know, it just helps to ground me a little bit. And then like I'll
Mm,
write down um what the win was, or something that I've started recently, actually within the last month, is that I've started a gratitude thread email to myself. So every
mm.
day I email myself what I was grateful for that day, and it's in the same thread, so I can actually go back and look at it. And
Oh,
it's kind of
wow.
cute because then every morning you wake up and you can see what you were grateful for the day before, and it's like really
Okay.
random things. It's like the sun, or like going on a carousel with a friend,
Yeah.
or having a phone call for 10 minutes and checking in with somebody. It's like
Yeah.
cute things like that. But just like before I go to bed, I just put down one thing and I email it to myself.
Oh, that's so nice. I didn't know you did that, but that's so nice. That's cute, cute, so cute. Yeah, I think another ritual that I just recently discovered, now that it's getting colder, when the sun's out, I've been struggling like
Yeah.
last week with just my brain. My brain was just not doing
Yeah.
its thing. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I think Tuesday and Wednesday, I was genuinely productive after a while. It felt like a while. It wasn't that long, but it felt like a
Yeah.
while. And then today, I just woke up and I was like, I'm gonna celebrate. The sun's out. I'm gonna take out a picnic rug, put it in my
Aw.
backyard, and just read and journal and not worry about the fact that I have to do all these other things. I'm just gonna
I
take this
love
moment for
that.
myself. It's helped. I feel so calm and like
I'm so here
regulated.
for it.
Yeah. Like, what is this? It's nice.
Is this what it feels like to be regulated?
I guess. I don't know.
I find it suspicious.
It is suspicious. I'm like, what? It was that easy? Okay.
Join us next season to find out if regulation is a myth.
Okay, what else? Externalizing it can
Yeah.
be a way of doing it. So, our brains, it's hard sometimes to celebrate things ourselves or think about things when it's like just within ourselves. So, we sometimes it's just easier to thrive on external validation. So, tell someone about a good news knowing that they're going to be giving you great feedback or great validation back. Like, don't go to the friend who's kind of jealous of you. Go to
Yeah.
the friend who will be like,
May
yes,
you find friends who
yes,
always celebrate your wins and
yes.
don't give you nothing.
Honestly, yeah, I think it's
Straight up.
real. I think,
Straight up.
sometimes you do gotta keep quiet around some people. I'm
Some
not
people
gonna
have
lie.
weird juju, dude. I'm just
Some people
saying. Trust your gut.
trust your gut.
Again,
Um,
join us next season about friendships.
yeah. Another thing that I've been doing is every few months I would like reflect on like all the things I've done, especially since I've moved to Sydney, and just reflect on how much I've done over the last few months.
Yeah,
And then like I'd make like a little Instagram story about it.
that's
And
cute.
you know what? I don't know if anybody cares about it. I don't know if anybody even is reading it, but like it's just so nice to look back on my archives, story archives, and then seeing that progression. And I'm just looking at
Yeah.
myself and I'm like, you go, like you keep going, like good on you.
Yeah, damn
Um,
straight. Do it for yourself. I used to have
exactly.
a Instagram account called 365 Days of Nush, and it was literally like I'd post a picture every day of
Yes.
like random things, and it was for nobody else, but like for
Yeah.
me to like follow and see my
Oh my
progress.
God.
'Cause I need visualization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if any of my friends are watching this and you've left a heart react on those stories, I'm keeping tabs. I'm keeping tabs on
I'm watching you all.
who's not sending me the heart react.
And here's another tip we love. So when you do something you're proud of, ask, what would I say to my best friend if they did this? Then say it to
Mm.
yourself. Bonus points if it's out loud. And even if it feels a little bit weird, it is so worth it. Sometimes you just got to visualize that shit and say it to yourself. Oh my God, stand in front of a mirror and say it to yourself. Or like, look,
Yes.
guys, let's be honest. We all talk to ourselves a lot anyway.
Yes. I hope so.
Uh,
I hope everyone's talking to themselves.
yeah, because we do. And just like put some positive shit out there. Like,
Yeah. I think it's also important that you schedule in time to do regular celebration check-ins. I know this is something that a lot of my clients actually struggle with. To me, I look at them from when they start seeing me to like many sessions later, and I'm like, damn, they're really going out and doing things. They're so different now. They're like progressed so much. And then there will inevitably be that one session where they come and they're like, nothing's happening. Like I've done all this work and nothing's happening, nothing's going on. And I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. Let me bring out my notes and let me tell you every single thing that you wanted to achieve and you've done it.
now you're
So
here.
you're here. I'm not listening to that. Like that is just lies. So let's figure out a system for you to be able to reflect and in hindsight see how much you've done. Because a lot of the times when you're in it, you don't see it. You don't have
Yeah, you
time to
don't
check
see
in.
it.
Yeah. But over, a period of months, you're like, oh damn, I did that.
Straight up. I mean, sometimes you even think about it this way. Like, if I was to think a year ago, how much has things changed this time last year as a
Mm,
person? I'm not saying circumstances. Sometimes your circumstances can be really, really shit.
mm.
But But if I was to look at the person I was a year ago and the person I am now,
Mm,
she is more calm, she's more grounded, she's more
mm.
authentic to herself, and she has a better idea of what she wants from her life. And so, even
Yeah.
though there's been like a cesspool of chaos happen in the first 6 months of this year, I'm still really, I think the person that I am today is worth celebrating as much as the person
Yeah.
who was 1 year ago, but I've definitely made progress, you know?
You made progress. Things feel clearer. Like
Yeah.
you're not handling things how you would have before.
100%, dude, or even
Yeah.
2 years ago, that girl would have handled things so differently. So just remind yourself that like you can look back and like
Yeah.
there's yeah, you've probably come a lot further than you give yourself credit for.
Exactly. You just forget. So, like, make time to remember and actually think about it because you'd be surprised by how many things you can come up with. So, I guess whether your win, was showing up to listen to this podcast episode, and thank you so much for listening, by the way, or doing something big like finishing your degree or getting a promotion or I don't know, something else, it all matters. You matter.
Throwing out
Everything
all of
matters.
throwing out all of the junk in your fridge that you've been meaning to throw out.
Mm,
Yeah.
that moldy thing is finally gone.
Yeah. It all counts.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of our season. You have brought your courage, your chaos, your curiosity, and we are so proud of you, listeners. And we're really excited to keep doing this. And please let us know, what other topics you're interested in hearing about, what other ramblings you're interested in.
Actually, when Anushka says that, like genuinely tell us what you want to learn about and listen to because we've been getting random feedback from random people at different events coming up to us going like, "Oh, I've been listening to your podcast. It's good." And I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you so much for it." But what else do you want to know?
Yeah, because
Like,
otherwise we'll just talk shit about anything. We have,
yeah,
yeah.
anything's going on in our lives and our lives are very eventful, so they might be random and they might like, give us some direction. We would really, really appreciate that. Okay, so now I guess just to close this episode, we'll maybe do a guided affirmation thing for you that Anushka will take over. So take it away.
Here's something just for you to remember, okay? Just your last 3-4 seconds of this podcast, wherever you are, unless you're driving, in which case don't do this. Do it later. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I want you to remind yourself that you are not behind, you are not broken, you are not lazy. You are becoming every day in your own beautiful, curious way. And every time you choose to try again, you move mountains. Every time you show up for yourself, even in tiny ways, it's mattered. And you matter.
That was really, really lovely. And I hope you actually run that back and do that guided affirmation sometime or even find one for yourself. But thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for following us. But just a reminder, don't forget to follow in all our podcast platforms on our Instagram, Girls That ADHD. And please, 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 if you genuinely liked it and you want us to keep going, leave a review and a good review on all our podcasts because then more people find it. It gives us the dopamine to keep going. Like it will just do all the good things for us. So please help us out.
And share it with people so that we go viral, guys. Come on.
Yes, because we aren't consistently making content. That's not happening.
No.
So we need your help.
We need support.
Yeah. So until next time.
Until next time, this is Girls That ADHD. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next season.
Yes.
Yay.
Bye. As usual, our disclaimer at the end of each episode, Girls That ADHD does not provide personalized ADHD management advice for your individual needs. Although we are mental health care practitioners, Girls That ADHD is not a substitution for therapy or counseling of any kind. Girls That ADHD exists for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be relied upon to make decisions about your mental health, well-being, and ADHD management. Advice and conversations from girls with ADHD are general in nature and do not consider individual circumstances. Always do your research and please seek out guidance from your mental health care team or ADHD coach as required. Okay, then, till next time, bye.